Hi, I'm Ollie. I'm an Associate Director in Cooper Parry's Corporate Finance team. At Cooper Parry, we do a really wide range of deals, and one of our latest deals was a carve-out of a health tech business, which was part of a wider healthcare group. Carve-outs can be really good for unlocking value within your business, but the process can typically be a bit different to a normal transaction. So we thought we'd just take you through how there are some differences and any advice we had. So Mark, over to you.
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm an M&A partner at Cooper Parry. I've spent the last 25 years advising clients on both disposals and acquisitions. As Ollie says, carve-outs can be very good at unlocking value. There's one or two things that we think are worth emphasising, so I'll just sort of shoot through those. The first point is around use of terms like non-core can start with a very negative connotation. To a seller, it's being very truthful, and that's good, but to a buyer, it can give the impression that there's something missing, it's non-core, it's being sold, the value's going down straight away from a negotiation. So we'd strongly advocate use of a presentation of a standalone business with its own plan, but that it's core to its own plan and the buyer will see the value in that. So the same sort of business plan, but how it's presented and avoiding words like non-core is actually quite important, and we see it a lot and it does make a difference. The second of the 3 points is around standalone financials. Again, you have to do that. You have to present standalone business, people, resources, and that's fine. But again, a bit like the non-core point, the buyer will either be cynical or will want to be very cautious around making sure they truly are it's a standalone business, because usually it is. But when it comes down to things like insurance, shared services, people, IT, whilst the cost might be accurately allocated and you've got a true standalone profit for reporting, when you go through the transaction, in our experience, the buyer will not inherit exactly the same business, and therefore for bidding purposes and later on in the process, you need to be very transparent about that in our view, and that very often, and it's tempting to do this, you undercook those shared services, the buyer is then handed a perfect opportunity to reduce the price. We do it on the buy side. We try and avoid that with clients on the sell side by being very clear and identify what's truly standalone and being very upfront about what isn't. And then the final point is just really around a question we're always asked is like, is it more complicated? Yes, basically.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There's certainly a lot more steps to go through, so it does naturally take more time. And I think being aware of those extra steps and planning in advance is pretty crucial.
So that's it, 3 points to ace a carve-out, essentially. It's worth it for unlocking value, and hopefully that's been helpful.
Great, thanks for that advice, Mark.